Woody and the gang are back again. This time, all they have to do is take care of a spork, and they are finding it pretty difficult, especially the Woodster.
Welcome to the Walt Vault with
Michelle,
Andre,
Louise,
and me, Emily. We're a family-friendly podcast where we pick a new Disney movie each week. We watch it, share our thoughts, and then relate it to pop culture, fandoms, and anything else that pops into our heads. Enjoy!
hello and welcome to the Walt Vault, episode 90.
Schneindy! Boom!
it's fine.
What's happening,
Everything's
y'all?
fine.
Dude, we're on one today. It's not even late. It's not early. It's not... There's no alcohol involved.
I had to go to the dentist today. I don't know what y'all
that's
did.
why you're mad.
Okay, I had to
Andre?
drive to Sacramento and take an exam.
Okay, for
would you-
Andre having really good teeth, like Andre has very beautiful teeth. He
does.
hates the dentist.
Yeah,
And-
because he has gingivitis. It's not fun.
Well,
I
that's
gotta
your
go
own
all
fault.
the time. Yeah.
Well, and
annoying.
Michelle, she's a very smart individual, but she has been studying for this test for a long time, and she finally got it done, and she passed it, y'all. She passed it.
That's why I'm eating goldfish.
What? Is that why you're eating goldfish?
No, I had Popeyes earlier.
What does that have to do with anything?
That was my reward.
This week we are talking about 2019's Pixar animated movie Toy Story 4.
I almost said 3. I got confused because we've done so many.
We have done.
Can you hand me my water?
We've done a lot of stories.
Well,
of
we've done
toys.
4, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Four.
4.
Of them.
This is the 4th.
This
The
is
one,
number 4.
the movie that nobody was like, we need another one, but that was also kind of good.
Right.
So we'll get into that.
As we said in the last episode, the last one ended so well that my first impression was, all right, I'm good now. I don't need any more Toy Stories
Yeah,
anymore.
I like to call this one Toy Story 4, a love story, or Toy Story 4, a Bo Peep story. Like, it's not really
a love story.
It's not really about all the toys. You know what I mean? It feels like a Woody movie.
It's,
It
I mean,
feels like a Woody movie.
it's definitely a Woody movie, which all Toy Story movies are Woody movies for sure.
Number 2 is totally a Buzz movie.
I mean, but it's also a super Woody movie. It gives you his origin story.
Yeah.
You know?
Origin story.
His origin story.
Okay.
But this one, yeah, you're right. It feels like it excludes more of the toys and
It is more.
focuses more on Woody
And Bo Peep.
and Forky.
Toy Story 4, a love story. Okay, Emily, first impression. This is the first time you've seen it.
The first and second time now.
Oh, you watched it again?
We watched it twice.
Nice.
Ooh.
Loved it.
2 views.
I was very...
views.
2 views.
2 views.
I was not expecting to like it, and I loved it.
Don't you like when you go in with no expectations? It's
For
like
sure.
the best.
Right.
For
or
sure.
lower expectations. I
Awesome.
suppose.
Louise, did you also love Toy Story 4?
It was awesome. Probably
Whoa.
my favorite.
Whoa.
Wow.
Shakira, Shakira.
Wow.
Andre.
My. Howdy doody.
First impression.
Say howdy doody.
Howdy doody.
What in the good world? Stop it.
Me, Owen Wilson, and Shakira both say howdy doody.
Stop it.
I like this movie a lot. It's a really good. It's a really sharp film. It's still not my favorite Toy Story though. But it's so close. It's so high up there that I truly have no idea where to slot it
What?
in my list.
Do you know why I like
don't
it?
know.
Is because it definitely could be a standalone.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
you could take it completely out of context and know would there be all of the background? Obviously not,
Right.
but because of that intro scene,
yeah, you get it all.
definitely
Yeah.
don't need
If you
the
watch
rest of the
one
movies.
and then you watch 4, it's like, oh, okay, that caught me up. I'm
For
good.
sure.
What is it with
They're with-
Toy
they're
Story
with Bonnie
movies
now.
and great intro scenes? We'll talk about that. All right.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, it's very good. I mean, it's one of the best Pixar films. It's just not one
All
of
of
the
the
best
Toy
Story
Stories
films.
are like the best Pixar
Toy
films.
Stories.
You know what I mean?
That block of 4 movies is at the top of
Yeah,
the Pixar list.
For sure it is. So my first impression, Andre and I saw it in the theater, and then we just saw it again when we watched it on Disney Plus.
Mhm.
It's still really, really good. I think in Toy Story 3, I didn't like shed tears at the end. Like I got emotional. But like when we watched Toy Story 4 this time, I literally shed tears at the end. It was like super annoying that I did that. But I really, really, really like it as well. So like I said, This is one of those movies that people were like, Toy Story 4? Why? Like, why do we need another one? The third one ended the trilogy succinctly. But, lo and behold, Pixar apparently is good at Toy Story sequels.
So this
I'm okay with it.
This movie, at first, you were right. The Pixar wasn't planning on doing a Toy Story 4. And it wasn't until, I think, a couple of writers got together, along with the director Josh Cooley, him and Lee Unkrich and stuff like that. They got together and they started developing, just new ideas. And they had Rashida Jones. She was there from Parks and Rec. She was one
Luis
of the,
and I were very happy about that when we saw that.
Yeah.
She's still in the credits. So she was one of the original writers on like the first draft of this script, and then at some point she left the project. Her and her writing partner they left due to Lassiter reasons or whatever, and then and then they rewrote the script a couple of times, and it ended up how it is now. But yeah, she still gets a story
she got
by credit.
Top story billing.
Yeah.
That's why I was
Yeah, she
expecting
did.
her to do more of it.
I think it was her idea to bring back Bo Peep and introduce her as
Which
a main
honestly
character.
is
I dig it.
super good because in the third movie, it's just like Bo Peep's gone.
Yes.
And
Right.
you're like, what happened? And you want to know what happened? That first scene, that's what happened. Depressing. Thanks, Pixar.
But it was
Pixar-
pretty amazing.
It was a really, really good
really
opening
cool.
It's so
scene.
cool.
And all of the Toy Story movies have amazing opening scenes, and Pixar in general, I feel like, has this tradition of opening scenes that are just amazing. It was very emotional. Like, I remember, okay, this is how we're starting this movie. Okay. Like, being in the theater, being like, that's what happened. Like, sad about
thought
it.
you were going in with an Owen Wilson right there.
Oh, no.
That's what happened.
That's what happened.
It was close.
We saw this before we saw Toy Story 4. We saw the opening scene at Disneyland
We
because they
did.
had like a preview there, and it was this scene.
And that we were like, oh, my God. Then we were excited.
Right. I wasn't excited before that. We had gone.
And
into
I
the
remember you
thing-
telling me that too. I remember you saying that you had just seen it, and I was not convinced in the least.
Right.
We
Neither
were,
was
once we
Louise.
saw that, we were, you know.
Yeah. It was amazing because it's an amazing scene, and
And the animation
so
and everything is so
realistic.
good.
it like I just said in Toy Story 3. This is so crazy beautiful. It's out of this world. I can't believe how good it looks.
And this is so much better.
And this is so much
The
better.
rain, like just the sound
The
of the rain, the
rain.
detail of the rain.
Bro,
Yeah.
little raindrops falling off of Woody's little plastic hat is how?
Something you never
Well-
knew you needed.
Well, first
Yeah.
off, it's funny because what I was going to say is actually something you found and you had sent to us, Andre, but we didn't talk about it, and I think it was for Toy Story 3. So didn't you send us the video about the guys who had redone Toy Story
Yes.
3 completely in stop motion from like start to finish?
With real toys.
With real toys.
Mhm.
So
On their
that's,
iPhones.
That's its own thing, right? But this looks like it's Adeline's Toy Story
Yeah.
Woody outside in the rain. Like it
Yep.
almost looks like they stop motioned it and
It's
then
so
like
real.
animated it
Yeah.
over it or something.
So
It's so
good.
that good.
Yeah. Pixar is good at what they do. And
I mean,
They
we
spend
didn't
a
know
lot
it
of money
before.
doing
We
it.
know it now, right?
Right.
They definitely are. So basically, what happened to Bo Peep is Molly,
She got shafted.
Andy's little sister, didn't want the lamp anymore. Also, didn't know Bo Peep was a lamp.
yeah, apparently
until this
she's
movie.
a lamp.
She's a
I
lamp.
kind of dig it
She's-
though. I
And
also didn't
also-
know she was ceramic.
Yeah,
Right.
no idea until this
I
movie.
always thought
I
she was
mean-
like Barbie.
Yeah,
Like,
I think that's how
plastic.
it appears in like Toy Story 1, and then by Toy Story 2, she's not in that much either, and then she's completely gone from Toy Story 3. And
I
then
don't
you
mean
see
to
her in
brag, but I
this.
kind of felt she was ceramic.
All right.
From
She's really
Toy Story 1?
shiny.
Yeah, the
Oh,
way she
okay.
moved.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
feel
I
that.
always just thought she was a Barbie, I
Well,
guess.
Right.
I thought she was ceramic, but I like an act like one of those figurines that like goes on the like your bedroom
I'm-
bedside thing.
Mm.
But I didn't know she was a lamp, and you can buy that lamp at Target when this movie came out.
Oh my gosh, of course you could.
Yeah, so she's a lamp that has like her, you know, as the figures with her 3 sheep, Billy Goat, Gruff.
Billy Goat and Gruff.
Yes.
The girls.
So
The girl.
So Molly just didn't need the lamp anymore because she's a big girl. She doesn't need a night lamp. So it got donated basically to
Right.
another family.
Yeah.
And the whole scene where Bo's in the box and she's like, "Toys get lost all the time, Woody. You can come with me." It
Right.
was so sad.
It was very sad, especially because he was gonna get in the box with her.
Yeah, it's
He
a
really
tempting
hurt
offer.
Andy.
Okay, it's not bad at all. She's like, you could come in the box with me. I'm Bo Peep. Check it out. And he's like, Andy, and then he has to go back.
Once again, I compare Woody to freaking Captain America. He's so loyal. He's got to be loyal
Yeah,
to his
Andy is
kid.
America.
His kid. I guess so.
No, Andy's Bucky. Okay. And you wonder now why I don't like Andy. Andy's stupid. Just kidding.
Wow.
Hilarious.
I took it there. Sorry.
So,
Woody is very loyal to his kid.
right. So he decides to stay. He lets Bill Peep get taken away. Oh, and this scene happens before Toy Story 3, obviously.
And literally lets Bo get taken away.
Let's Bo get taken away.
Bye, Bo.
And then we cut into a "You Got a Friend of Me" montage, and it's
And it's a good one.
it's just as good as all the other ones. I don't understand this. They keep just shoving "You Got a Friend of Me" like right.
But
at,
that song
right
never
at me.
gets old.
It
It's,
doesn't.
It's
And
really
it doesn't.
good.
It doesn't get old.
How did Randy Newman do it?
Randy Newman.
I personally don't like that song.
You're the only person in
You
the
don't?
universe that doesn't like it.
Is it because of his voice or just the song?
You
It's
got
because he
Maybe
doesn't
all
have
of
any
it?
friends.
Wow, I'm his friend. I laughed at first, though. I was like, wow.
Like, I understand that's the epitome or the
Of a
top
toy.
of a Toy Story movie, but
Right.
I've never liked it, to be honest with you.
Because you don't like fun things.
Heartless, but, you know,
because you straight heartless.
we like it.
Because you don't like love. That's
So-
why.
Because you
The best part about this
Old man
movie,
negative.
to me, well, there's
Best man negative.
there's two things that are the best part about this movie. But one of the best things about this movie is the fact that now all of these toys belong to Bonnie,
Yeah.
which is the cutest little girl. She's adorable. I really like Bonnie. So now,
Hold
they're-
on, can we back it up for just 1 second? 'Cause
Yeah.
I was gonna say my only qualm with this movie,
You don't
or
like
that at
Bonnie?
least that I can think about it. No, not Bonnie. It's before we get there in the montage.
Oh.
When you see Andy,
Yeah.
it's almost like he's in such high definition that I didn't.
Who's
think
this kid?
That's what I said. I was like,
You thought that
You better
too?
take off Andy's hat.
You
what
thought
are you
that
doing?
too?
Yeah. He looks so. This CGI version of Andy looks so good that he looks completely different from all the other Andys.
Oh my God, I didn't think that at all.
Oh, both times I watched it, I even thought to myself, like, it's coming. Okay, Emily, it's Andy. And I looked at him, I'm like, this is not Andy.
Who's this long-faced little boy? What is-
Because if you look at that first version, he was bulbous.
Yeah.
Like, he
Right.
had no, I mean, he was just like
Maybe I need to watch that again.
a circle face. And then when you look at him in number 4, he looks like a real, I mean,
A real
obviously
boy.
an
I'm a real boy.
A real
Exactly.
boy?
He's an animated real boy Pinocchio. And it's like, it's just not Andy. Thank God.
That is
Thank
so
God he's
funny.
wearing the hat. I would have no idea who he was supposed to be.
He's just walking around his house like, oh, when did Andy and Molly get a brother? Who's
That's hilarious.
cousin Mark over here?
I definitely didn't think that, but I don't think I was watching it that closely.
Well, and you might have been paying attention to the other things. I was looking at the kid like, I just don't know who this
You
freak
kind of,
is.
you kind
No,
of
I
miss
think
it.
during the scene I went to go get a snack.
'Cause
So
the
You're like, I know this
montage-
part.
I was like, montage. Okay.
The montage is going by, and you're looking at the toys, but when you see Andy's face, it's like, who that?
Oh my God, that does not look like
Right?
him.
That does
Right.
not look like Andy.
Especially if you compare.
When you compare it to
Oh, dude, the comparisons of Toy Story 1
Oh
It's
to Toy
insane.
Story 4.
gosh, you have to post
You'll
that.
have
on-
It's
you'll
just
have to send that to me so I
nuts.
can post it because
Yes.
it's a joke. And it's not like it's not something wrong. It's just
Like they definitely didn't do it on purpose. It's just animation's a lot better now.
it's just
Right.
animation over time. But I literally thought to myself, I have no idea.
Wow,
who
that's
this is.
It's
hilarious.
incredible.
Okay, that was my qualm, and it's not even like anyone's
Right.
fault.
Not,
qualm.
not a big qualm.
Just because
But I
Emily
love
doesn't
it.
know.
I love it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go back to Bonnie.
Oh my gosh, this article Andre's reading, the headliner says people think Andy looks like he's had plastic surgery in the trailer for Toy Story 4.
Okay, I'm not the only person. I
No,
love that.
Definitely not.
Fantastic.
Hilarious.
Okay.
All right, well,
Bonnie's fantastic.
there's
Go
two,
for it.
two favorite things about this movie for me. Number one is Bonnie. I really like Bonnie. I think, yes, we have a connection with Andy, quote unquote, but not compared to that. I feel way more connected to Bonnie than I do to Andy, if that makes sense.
Well, because we're meeting the toys when Bonnie meets the toys, so we're feeling her connection.
That's
true.
true.
Where in Toy Story, I feel like we just happen upon the scene.
Everyone's there except for Buzz.
Well, and also, if you think about the other Toy Story movies, like the most we get of Andy is like college Andy. Like that Andy I feel a little bit more for. But when he's a kid, it's just more like, where's Woody? Look at Woody's playing. You know what I mean? It's not like...
Yeah, it's not his struggles.
No, it's not really.
He's just
I'm going to go to cowboy camp. Oh, I forgot my toy.
Right.
Like, he's barely...
I'm going to Pizza Planet.
Yeah.
He's, like, not even really... Like, there's none of that connection. So with Bonnie, we really, really get that.
You see her go to kindergarten orientation.
Yes. I love it. So, this movie... This movie opens, and I'm so happy we had you watch that episode of Forky Ask a Question, because now do you recognize Cheryl and the rhino and stuff like that?
Yes.
Cheryl. So good. So good. So this scene opens where they kind of get put in a closet because when Mom cleans Bonnie's room, she like shoves them all in a closet.
When she cleans it real fast.
When she cleans it real fast.
Which is hilarious.
So Dolly...
Because I do that. Like, you know, you always put
totally.
stuff right in the closet.
Totally. So Dolly is like the leader, like how Woody was. Dolly's like the leader of the toys in Bonnie's room.
Dolly the doll.
And there's some different toys in Bonnie's room. So there's the clown, the unicorn. What are all their names? Do you have
let
them?
Me see.
Buttercup the unicorn.
Yes, Buttercup.
Mr. Pricklepants, the porcupine.
My favorite. I love Pricklepants.
Trixie, the
Triceratops.
Triceratops.
Those are like the main ones, I think.
Molly, excuse me, Dolly the doll.
Yeah.
Those are like main ones.
Yes, and I know that because we just read the Toy Story Camp Out Good Night story yesterday.
What's the theatrical one's name?
That's Mr. Pricklepants.
Mr. Pricklepants. He's my favorite.
Yeah,
I love him.
I like him a lot.
So
the hedgehog.
The issue is that Bonnie hasn't been picking Woody. She's been leaving him in the closet while she plays with the other ones, and she takes the sheriff badge off of Woody and puts it on Jessie, which I think is kind of fitting for a female kid to be like,
true.
She's the sheriff. You know what I mean?
At the same time, when she first encountered Woody, she was
loves
pretty
Woody.
excited about him.
She was really into it.
And she was super into him. So when Woody gets dejected and stays in the closet all by himself, I'm feeling for him pretty hard. I'm like, oh, but
my favorite is when the clock is like making fun of him in the closet, and he's like, "How long you been in here?" And Woody's like, "Oh, I don't care." And he was like, "I'll remember," or something like that, where he's like,
like, "It's been 3 days in a row, or 3 days this week. I mean, I'll keep up for you."
First Dust Bunny. When are we gonna name it? Cheryl, it's so cute. You guys are jerks. They're all jerks. I love it. But it's okay because lo and behold, of course, Woody finds some righteous thing he has to do, which is Bonnie's going to kindergarten orientation and she wants to bring a toy, but toys aren't allowed at school. Of course, Dolly and everybody's like, Woody, no toys at school. But of course, Woody has to be self-righteous, and because he hasn't been picked, he hops in the backpack, right? That's a totally Woody thing to do.
And also because Woody in this movie is old man Woody. Okay, he is
old man Woody.
He is Grandpa Woody. He's like, well, but back in my days with Andy,
which is hilarious.
When Andy was in kindergarten, he needed me around, and I think I should be around for Bonnie. And they're like, shut up, Woody. Go back in the closet where you belong.
Even Rex is like, yeah, Woody, like,
get back in the closet.
Get back in the closet. Nobody wants you at school.
The thing that bugs me though too is like they like tiptoe around Woody. Like Jessie's like, here's your badge back, and Buzz is like, hanging in there, pal. And I'm like, you guys
I would smack somebody if they were acting like that with me. Like, you
I
guys
would
need
too.
to
I'm like, you guys, he didn't get picked. Deal with it. Like, don't be so nice to him. He's Woody. It's fine.
Yeah, give him.
But anyways, he
for
goes
it.
in the backpack to kindergarten orientation. Bonnie's like super sad.
She's pretty nervous about
and
it.
none of the kids are like talking to her.
Yeah.
But
she's all by her lonesome.
What happens after that? Sorry, I'm eating a cookie.
Oh,
Sorry.
After so because she's all by herself and kids keep taking crafts away from her table, rude other little kids.
What was rude? He just like put an apple in his mouth. I was like, what the?
So
she gets so excited when he walks up, and then he's just like, all right, cool, I'm gonna take all of these and goodbye. So Woody sees that. And then he hops into the trash where he knows
so some of the crafts got dropped in the trash can. So Woody hops into the garbage can, pushes them out on the table, and then Bonnie, her little creative side, she's so cute. She makes the best character in this movie, Forky.
She constructs
does.
Forky
Constructs Forky.
out of what is he? A spork. He's a pipe cleaner.
arms.
He's
Got googly
broken
eyes,
in half.
Play-Doh mouth.
What is it? Just like a stick? I guess a wooden stick
Yeah, popsicle
Yeah,
For
stick.
feet,
popsicle stick.
with some gum attached to the spork, and then
That's Play-Doh, not gum.
oh, Play-Doh. Okay, good. thought,
Well.
thought he was gross the whole movie.
He's chewed up and spit out. You know what I'm saying?
And then yes, his googly eyes and his
I know it's
Play-Doh
Play-Doh
mouth.
because we make him at work with the kids.
his mouth is
It's
Play-Doh too.
Yeah.
Yes. His no,
Pipe
No.
cleaner.
his mouth is pipe cleaner.
I don't know.
I don't know. It looked
A
like
rubber
some
band.
kind
I
of-
think it's a rubber band.
Rubber band.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
And he has glitter
Listeners, hit us up in the comments. Let us know what Forky's mouth is made of. So yeah, she could
Pivotal information.
Yeah, we need it.
glue. So Woody's like feeling pretty proud of himself, and so is Bonnie, right? She's like, "Look, I made my best friend Forky," and they put Forky in the backpack to go home, right?
Mhm. And
When
Woody's
his
like,
googly eye
"Nice."
moves, it's like a horror movie. It's like,
Oh,
ding.
God. It's a
then-
jump scare, literally.
Does he just
For
start
sure.
screaming?
Yes,
Forky?
he starts
He's like,
screaming.
"Ah!" and they cast the best actor for Forky, the
The-
best voice. And
the
I
homie.
only am saying that because actually I recently watched Arrested Development, even though that's like a very old show.
Yes.
But
Tony Hale,
Well,
who played
hilarious.
who played Buster on Arrested Development, and
Which I've never seen.
It's a very funny show.
it's a weird show.
from the early 2000s. But he's also more currently on Veep, which is on HBO, and he's so hilarious on that show as well.
And he has such a high pitched voice that it's like perfect for Forky. Forky is my favorite because he thinks he's trash the whole time, which I absolutely love. I think it's so funny. Like, I don't know who came up with the concept of just like putting together a toy out of a fork and making that toy have an existential crisis because he doesn't know why he's alive. Like, hilarious.
Well,
Thank you, Rashida Jones, if that was you. Because
Right.
Well,
yeah.
I will say though that originally I thought it was kind of a dumb concept.
Oh, I love it.
like before the movie, like when it
In the
came
trailer.
out in
Well,
the
I
trailer.
thought it was weird that they had like stuffed animals of it when I didn't even know what it was yet. I was like, I don't want this.
well, like the one trailer where it was like.
Were they dancing in the circle?
Yeah, where the circle's going around. I just did not think that was. I
it
don't
didn't
know.
make sense yet. Really,
It was such a weird trailer, and this is part of the reason why me and Michelle weren't that excited going into that Disneyland
that
preview.
trailer was really weird.
That trailer was weird. It shows all the main characters going around in a circle from Woody to like Buzz or whatever. But then after Buzz, it's Forky, and he's standing in the middle of the circle, and then he just starts screaming like, "Ah, I'm not a toy. I do not belong here," or whatever he says. And
it
then
just
that's the end of
seemed-
the trailer. It's
yeah,
like-
because it
very
had
bizarre.
no context.
and so that's all you get from the movie is that like, oh, there's a new weird character who's a toy but not a toy, and he's crazy.
Yeah,
Right.
literally
Yeah.
crazy, which he kind of is.
You don't get enough of the Forky charm
Oh.
from that
But
trailer.
I think the
So
real
funny.
question that we all have right now is a question for Luis.
Yeah.
I think our question is because did you assume that Luis was going to hate Forky?
I did.
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
Wait,
right?
let me see if I wrote it down.
I definitely assumed that Luis would hate Forky.
Yes, I assumed he would hate Forky as well. So the question is,
Luis, do you like Forky?
I completely love him.
Yay!
He was
Okay.
a little tiny bit annoying at first, but then
But then the charm kicks in, huh?
the humor.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
so
The
now-
humor is what got me because, for example, some overly sized snow cone that we're not going to speak of.
I was just about to ask you this.
Pretty much,
very
there's
question.
nothing funny about him. Nothing.
except for everything.
It's all annoying.
Olaf is
Okay.
funny.
Let him finish.
Okay, continue. So
But-
why is Forky
Can you hold
funny?
your own microphone, please?
I mean, I can quote the funniest thing
But
he says.
Forky
in
is
the-
actually pretty funny. He's not
He
annoying
is.
at all.
I love when he jumps out the window of the
Explain
thing.
why.
He's like, "I'm litter, freedom!" He jumps out the freaking
I think the reason why to me he's funny is because he's mindless.
window. Yeah.
He's not
Yeah.
trying to be like Olaf. Legitimately thinks what he's saying is the gospel. Forget him.
That's
but he's
true.
but he's also
Yes.
pretty
He thinks
brainless.
it's real.
That's why
At least
I wrote my
Forky
notes
has a sense of who he is.
that Olaf and Forky are very
Forky
similar.
is just convinced that he's trash.
At least he's not pretending to be something he's not and believing in stuff that doesn't exist.
But it does exist
He's a
in
realist.
that world.
He's a realist.
Magic does exist in
All right.
in Arendelle.
We just got crazy because I'm pretty sure Forky and Olaf are the exact same character.
So
One's just frozen
Luis
and
is
the other
okay
one's
that
alive.
Forky's alive, but not okay that Olaf is alive.
No, he doesn't care that Olaf's not alive. He cares that Olaf is. He thinks Olaf is stupid.
But he thinks
he
Forky's
thinks-
funny.
Forky is like.
Ridiculous.
Okay, so Olaf thinks he can survive in summer. How dense are you?
But that's because he doesn't know what
because
anything
he doesn't
is.
know.
And that's why he's
Because
not
his
cool.
brain is new.
Yeah,
So
Forky's
is
brain
Forky.
is
So is
Did
Forky's.
you say his
Forky
brain
knows-
is new?
Yeah.
He's just born.
Forky knows what he is from the very beginning,
Oh,
and he's
he
not trying to
knows he's
pretend like
trash.
he doesn't.
Oh, okay, I get it.
But is it
I don't think
Olaf's
Olaf's
fault
pretending.
that he? You think it's Olaf's fault that he doesn't know
Yes.
what happens in summer?
Yes.
Olaf's just a faker the whole
Have you
time. He's
seen
like,
Forky ask
I'm
a
gonna sing the
question?
song about summer.
Forky
confuse
doesn't
all
know
of them.
anything. He asks questions.
He
all the
knows who
time.
he is.
He knows,
knows
he's
what
trash.
he is,
He knows
where he
what
should
he
be.
is.
All
He
of a
knows
sudden,
exactly
Olaf
what
thinks
he's
he could
made
be in
of.
the sun.
He thinks the garbage is so warm and cozy.
And then
Ew,
Olaf,
worm.
And
Olaf
he's
is-
all and a little bit squishy.
Olaf is
Ew.
privileged because he actually does get to be in the sun later. Although Forky also gets to be a toy, so I don't know. They're both privileged.
But he doesn't actually get to be trash, though.
That's true.
He never gets
He
to be
never
real
gets to be
trash.
No, I mean he did
Sometimes.
say so. I'm still trash.
I'm Bonnie's trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, he thinks he's Bonnie's trash.
Forky is way better.
Oh my
than
god, when he
Olaf.
has that epiphany. Okay, we'll get to it, but Forky literally is the best. When he has that epiphany, like he finally understands what Woody's saying, and his like whole body shaking. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
I get it.
So
He's
this is
so
another
cute.
this is another aspect of Grandpa Woody because he's bringing Forky back to the other toys,
He's
and
like,
they're like, "What is happening?
"Hello,
Why
Forky."
does this thing exist?" And Woody's like, "I don't know, I don't care, but right now he makes Bonnie happy, and it's our responsibility to keep him alive because he keeps trying to."
Well, yeah, but then Woody's like, it's
kamikaze
my
himself.
responsibility. Like he doesn't want any help.
Right, exactly.
I will say, though, that I was very proud of him in this moment for Woody being selfless, but I was expecting at many different points in this movie, starting here, for him to have like an ulterior motive.
For him to be like jealous and try to get rid
Yes,
of
which he really
Forky,
didn't at all.
because I think he
No.
learned that lesson with Buzz.
Because he already did the Buzz thing.
Yes, exactly. Which is cool. I like that. That's character growth.
Right.
You know, he wouldn't make that
but
mistake
some
with Forky.
people
because he already
never
did it.
grow that much.
Right.
So I was really proud of the fact that he did because he could have not.
True. Very, very true.
But anywho, with that being said, he has to keep Forky alive, which leads to my probably favorite montage of this whole thing.
I can't let you throw yourself away. That
No,
montage.
just the whole thing. Like
Yeah.
every time.
Every time Forky.
It doesn't matter if they're on the road trip or just still
Because
in
it
the
happens
house.
a couple of times
Because
where Forky goes on a kamikaze montage.
yes,
Oh
like
my
there's multiple
God.
situations where he's just running and like falling into the trash and falling into the trash and
I'm trash.
Woody literally
Trash.
Woody has to keep throwing him places, and it's too funny.
Because
And even the way he walks is like clink, 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 clink. I
Right.
wish you guys could see what I'm doing, but just see the movie.
With her fingers.
Clink, 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 clink. My favorite is when Buzz and Woody are like talking to each other on the montage, and like they're not paying attention to Forky, and he gets up in the window and he was like, "I was made for soups, salads, maybe chili, and then the trash." And he goes, "I'm litter, freedom!" He like freaking kamikazes out the window.
jumps out the window.
see, my favorite
That's
Forky
the
moment.
that's the best.
It happens right after that. He kamikazes himself out of the window,
Mhm.
which we'll talk about why he's in a window. But
Sure.
actually,
So
we'll just
funny.
make it fast.
Yeah.
They're on a road trip.
They go on a road trip after the kindergarten orientation, and
It's a
she takes
celebration.
all of her toys. She gets everybody there,
And
and
it loves Forky.
but loves her Forky. But Forky still is trying to get away, so Woody is still hanging on to him at every stop. Every time they stop at a
Oh my
convenience
God.
store to get gas, everything he
He's
still has
going
to
to
get
the
him.
trash.
It's
But
like having a toddler.
And he's so sad. He's like, oh. Every time Woody gets him back, oh.
it's too good. So he jumps out of the window for freedom, and Woody's like, I'm going after him.
Right.
Like 5 miles to the rest stop, I'll get you there. So he jumps out, and he finds Forky and starts dragging him back. And that is my second
when he's
favorite thing.
dragging him.
Is when he's dragging him, and then he Forky tries to like get his little legs under him, and he's like, And then he like falls again and gets drugged. He's like, carry me? No.
And it's really quiet. Oh yeah, he's such a toddler.
Whoever had to
Carry
render the
me?
physics
No.
for a little plastic fork with feet being drugged along a street is
It's
fantastic.
so good. It's literally just,
It's very funny.
it's magic.
And there's like no music during that scene too, so you just hear his feet like clink 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 clink.
It's
so
magic.
stupid.
Um,
And he's so upset because he's like, I just really like trash. And Woody's like, why do you like the trash? And he's like, because it's warm.
soft
It's
and
so
warm.
soft,
It's
a
comforting.
little bit squishy.
Ugh. Ugh, and ugh.
But that also
Good
makes you
Lord.
think like how the toys have their job in life. That Spork is like, I do this and I go into the garbage and I want to go into the garbage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is actually really good for him to not like want to be out of the garbage.
Right.
Like he knows where his destiny lies.
Yes.
And he wants to go there because it's nice and warm and
But it'd
cozy.
be like if I was 5 and I was like, I belong in a grave. Put me in a grave.
Good Lord!
It's like, no, you're not supposed to go in there.
Andre, you just took us to a place,
Oh, what if,
brother.
okay, well, I meant to say, what if I'm a 5-year-old zombie? And I'm like, put me in a grave.
Zombies don't want to be in the grave. Zombies want brains.
But they belong in the
This
grave. 'cause their
escalated in a
bodies are
weird
rotting.
direction. So-
Anyway.
Anyways, Woody basically Woody is trying to get Forky to understand what toys do, right? And what a toy
What it
is. So
means
he
to be
tells him
loved by a
all about Andy, everything. And I love when he's telling him the story, and he's like, "So Buzz just came in there and thought he could fly or whatever." He's like, "What an idiot!"
He's
You know
like, isn't that annoying?
That's annoying. Yeah, basically just like you, Forky. You kind of annoying. But it's all so good. And I don't remember exactly what he says, but he basically explains it in a way that Forky finally understands. And when he has his epiphany, his like whole body shakes. He's like, "Oh, Bonnie's trash! He's like, we gotta get to her right now!" And then he finally starts running, right? And Woody's probably just like, "Thank God."
Right.
Fine.
Literally, I love, oh my gosh, Forky. Everything he says. I love when, like, they throw him back on the bed and he's like, "Scary girl." Like,
Oh,
calm
yeah.
down. And he's like, "Bonnie's not scary. She loves you." And he's like, eh.
It's
Yeah.
good stuff.
So since
Good writing.
Yes. Since Woody and Forky are now chasing after the RV that Bonnie and her parents and all the toys are in, the toys have to like try to stop the RVs, try to slow them up so that they can catch up. So I believe Jessie is the next one to hop out the window, and she does so.
Straight up pops the tire.
Yeah, she grabs a nail and pops the tire, which is genius.
Jessie.
She has no chill.
Expert staller.
Right.
But it's okay. So this is when they're going back. Where they're stopped, like the RV park, there's like a carnival going on. It's just like a small town that has like a carnival. And they walk by this antique store. And that's when Woody sees like the lights on the ground, right? Like he sees the twinkle of the lights.
Yes.
And then he turns and he sees that it's the lamp that Bo Peep used to be on, but it's just the lamp.
Billy Goat and
So-
Gruff are there.
No, Billy Goat and Gruff are not there.
They're not on the lamp when he
No.
looks at it?
No.
They aren't on the lamp. There's
Oh.
nothing
There's
but
nothing
the lamp.
but the lamp.
It's just a lamp.
But because of the lights like reflecting on it, he like remembers it, right?
I literally thought the same thing but didn't say it.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Ridiculous. Well, he probably should have touched nothing but the lamp when he got in there.
Yeah.
Anyways, Forky
The
like
show, because it got real serious real fast. I was
and
not
this
expecting that.
is where it honestly became a horror movie to me. Not even kidding, it's a horror movie. So, Forky really wants to get back to Bonnie, but Woody wants to go in there because he thinks Bo Peep might be in there, obviously. So, once again, the detail in this antique store is absolutely insane. All the dust on the shelves. I don't know why it's always dust and, like, weird things.
It
that
felt like an antique store. Like you could
yeah.
smell it.
Like I've
yes,
Like I've
you
been in that
could.
antique
this
store.
thrift
I
store.
literally have been in that antique store, right? And it also made me really want to go thrifting.
And
I'm not gonna lie.
right. It's such another brilliant setting for a Toy Story movie. To
And
put,
so much detail.
put modern toys in an antique store and watch
Yes.
them run
So
around and
much
get lost
detail.
behind all the dust and stuff like that. It's awesome.
And it was just visceral. Like you could
And
I
I
could
can't-
feel it, I could smell it, I could almost taste like
I
that.
know. And I
Right.
can't even talk about the toys they meet next because they give me nightmares.
Good Lord.
So as they're walking around,
I can't talk about it.
a baby cart is
I
being
can't talk about it.
is being pushed.
Baby carriage.
A baby
And you know
carriage.
what? You see creepy
I guess
toys
it's not
like
a
that
cart.
all the time in antique stores. So
Are you
it
going to
makes
talk
sense.
about it or not? Let me get to it.
Okay, get to it.
Baby carriage.
There is a baby carriage very quietly, expertly being squeaked by,
Gross.
and a little doll.
Gross.
Face appears, and actually she's not that scary. I mean, in context she was kind of scary, but she's not like freaky looking. She doesn't have like a weird baby eye or anything.
It's the way her body moves that freaks me out.
She's fine.
Right? Her name is Gabby.
Gabby.
I don't like that name.
But
Gabby.
that's because she's Gabby.
She freaks me out.
Like she's chatty.
She's chatty.
She's we should call you Gabby Michelle.
Right.
No.
You made a nasty face, but it's true.
I get it. I get it now.
Like she's
I
Gabby.
I get what you. I get it now. I literally just thought her name was Gabby.
Oh no, it's like adjective noun.
Right.
Oh, I get it now. Wow, I feel like
Chatty Cathy.
Chatty
Um,
Cathy.
mhm.
Oh, Chatty Cathy. There
Yeah,
you go.
There you go.
But she's being pushed by a ventriloquist dummy.
Do y'all remember Big Baby from Toy Story 3?
Yes.
You remember him? He's big. He's
He's so cute
terrifying.
compared to this.
He's got an ugly eye, and he is
so cute.
adorable
So cute.
in
I
comparison
would cuddle him
to
so
the
hard.
terror
Okay,
of Benson, the puppet.
Benson. Thank you. Okay, so side note, I want us to pause here. When a Pixar movie comes out, all of the children that I work with, that's their life
Yeah.
at that moment, right? So, as you know, Disney will sell action figures of literally anything. And there's one kid that loves Toy Story, and so he brings all of his toys from home in his backpack, and he has all of them, right?
Right.
Buzz, Woody, Rex, Potato Heads. He has everything, including a Benson. So
No.
one day I
They
opened,
sell a Benson?
They do, and one day I opened his backpack to take out his Toy Story toys to go put him so he could play with them, and I opened the backpack to see Benson's face, and I almost threw the backpack on the ground.
Why do they sell a Benson?
It's disgusting.
Well, I don't know. I don't think you guys have seen this, but Luis and I have watched, I want to say at least twice, the Goosebumps movie, like the
Oh,
live
okay.
action and
With the one with Jack
with
Black?
Jack Black.
Oh, okay.
And the main character's name is Slappy, and it's a ventriloquist dummy.
Oh.
And they look extremely similar. And when Luis saw it, he's like, "It's Slappy!" I'm like, "Oh, good God, no!
Yeah,
don't
show her
do
the
it."
doll that they sell. Oh, there
I
it is.
mean, yeah, he's Benson. He's bigger than Woody. You know, he's scary sized.
Why?
He's so big and terrifying.
really
man.
big.
Well, and so here's the worst part of the whole thing, right? He moves creepy.
Oh my gosh, he's like
He
always
moves.
dragging his feet.
He
behind him.
drags his feet,
Ugh.
but there isn't just one.
There's so many Bensons. There's like what, 4 or 5,
I
6?
think there's
I think there's
4.
4.
Ugh.
But not. He's walking. He gets Forky and Woody inside of the carriage, and he starts pushing him. And you're like, this is ominous. This is getting worse. And then another Benson slides out, and then another Benson. I mean, literally.
They do it so brilliantly
The
because
worst doll
because
I've ever
when
seen.
you
Very
first
scary.
see Benson, it's just his scary face, right? Because he's pushing the carriage and his arms are up and they're extended. So you don't see how loose and flimsy and creepy they are. And then the other Benson walks in and he's like barely holding his big old body up.
The
with
way
his
that they
weightless
walk,
legs.
they walk like zombies. Like,
Ugh.
it's disgusting.
But you
I
realize
wish
that they
zombies
walk
walk
like that because there's nothing in a ventriloquist dummy on the bottom but
I
like a
know.
hand,
Right.
which
I know.
is very
Yeah.
disturbing.
It's so
Uh-huh.
gross.
when you
Yeah,
think
yeah.
about
What
it.
physicist studied these ones too? Weirdo.
Someone
I'm putting you on the
it was
Benson
honest-
dummies.
It was someone who had like a fear of them. Let's be
Right.
real.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
someone was like, "Okay, this
This
was,
is how they move, and I hate it.
Let me tell you all about how awful this
It
is."
probably actually is fun for an animator to do stuff like
Right.
that, but like, gosh, it's so bad.
Ugh.
Ugh,
Ah,
giving me like
there's so many.
chills.
The
And
reason
then
I
later
never
they're-
watched Chucky, I can't do any creepy dolls. Like, no creepy
That
dolls.
was more funny than scary.
Right,
This
yeah.
is like straight up horror.
That's what I said. It becomes a horror movie real quick. Real quick.
His arms are so
Stop
flimsy.
doing
I
it, Andre. You
hate
look
it.
just like him.
Anyways, and also, at this point, Gabby freaks me out with her high-pitched voice because she's like, "You can't go. You have something I need." And I'm like, that's disgusting. That sounds
That's
like something
disgusting.
a doll murderer would say to me if it was
doll
in my room.
murderer.
Like, you don't know, okay? You don't know. It could happen. So,
Um,
yes, so
Oh.
Gabby needs Woody's voice box. because her voice box is broken
It's
and
busted.
always has been defective. So she has never had a child.
Right.
She's always
And
been in a
she's-
box and in this antique store.
And she's roughly the same age as Woody.
Yes.
Right.
You know, from the 50s.
So
whatnot.
his voice box, as we know, works perfectly.
working fine.
Yeah.
This dude is.
There's
This is
a
a
snake
very
in his
well-made toy.
Right.
Woody.
The good news is Woody escapes. The bad news is Forky does not.
Forky is captured by Gabby and Benson.
Basically by Benson. Oh my gosh, and then when Benson like pokes his head out the window with Forky and he's like covering Forky's mouth and Forky's like so creepy. It became a horror movie. It really did.
These very scary.
The only reason Woody escaped is because there's the little girl of the old lady. There's an old lady who owns the antique store, which by the way is totally the chess dude's
wife.
twin or something because they look exactly alike. But her granddaughter is named Harmony and sees the Woody doll and takes it and wants to play with it in the park. So that's
Yes.
the only way Woody escapes.
Right.
So Woody gets to this park, and there's like a lot of toys at this park, which is like kind of. I still think it's weird that there's a lot of toys at the park. I don't really get that.
I mean, that seems like something that would happen back in the day when people were.
Like people just have a bunch of toys at the park.
When people would just leave toys at the park. Yeah.
I'd be mad if my kid was leaving kids or
leaving toys there. Yeah.
But there was
or
like a
leaving
lot.
kids, I guess.
There's a lot of toys, but apparently they're all lost toys, and that's why they go there to get played with.
Right.
Because like
They're
a bus
just
of
there.
kids came and yada yada yada.
Mhm.
And they get excited because they're
Right.
like
Oh, we get to get
about
played
being
with.
played with.
Hooray.
Yeah, which is like awesome.
Yeah. Park kids.
It's actually like really smart.
Park
You know what I
toys.
mean?
Mhm.
And this is where Woody and Bo meet eyes, and the slow song starts.
What?
I don't know if that's the song.
Hello, is it me you're looking for?
Yeah, basically. Whoa, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. So Bo and Woody both see each other and
Reunited, and
get
it
reunited.
feels so good.
they're played with by the same kid, and it's like, whoa, this feels familiar. And then they,
I like being
then-
thrown around with you,
And-
girl.
Yeah.
Okay, third favorite thing about this movie, Bo Peep. She rocks.
Bo Peep is awesome.
Wow, Bo Peep actually has like. I mean, if you think about it, Bo Peep is briefly in Toy Story 1 and 2, right? She's not there for very long.
Right.
But Bo Peep is in this movie. She in it to win it.
Straight up.
She's
Oh, this is Bo's
the
movie.
best. It's
Absolutely.
it's a Bo Woody movie. That's why I said
Right.
this is Toy Story 4, a love story.
Yes.
Plus
and
Forky.
it was pitched that way when they were first writing like the first draft. It was going to be like Toy Story, the romantic comedy, basically with Bo Peep. And,
Well, it
and
kind of
Woody.
is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
they succeeded. So Bo is there. She's like, I don't have no owner. I've been out here living my life, living my
With
best
my skunk
life
car,
out in the wild with my skunk car
Billy Goat
and my
Gruff.
tiny little homie.
What is her
Kyle.
name again?
Oh, okay.
What's
her
Louise,
name?
pick up your mic and tell us how you feel about this next scene because Louise and I had lots of conversations and laughs in this scene when they're picked up by the skunk.
GI Combat Joe or
No, hold on.
Oh my
Before we
gosh,
get
those
there,
things are funny
about
too.
the Polly Pocket thing.
What is her name?
Mrs. Giggles or something, McGiggles or
McGiggles.
Officer
Oh,
McGiggles,
Giggle McDimples.
Giggle McDimples.
Louise and I looked at each other and were like, "It's a Polly Pocket."
It is a Polly
And I
Pocket.
loved Polly Pockets. And
Oh,
Louise,
really?
Yes, and Louise has like a weird obsession with like miniature things.
Okay. Go on.
You're just gonna say-
Interesting.
There was like an equivalent of miniature like figurines back
Okay.
in the day, kind of like the Polly Pockets, but for guys. Oh, the Star Wars ones. You tell me you gotta remember those.
Hang on. A memory is hitting my
You
my
know
brain.
what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
a memory is
So I did
hitting
not
my
play with
brain.
Polly Pockets, so I didn't make that association until you just said it.
The equivalent is like a face of a Star Wars character.
Yes.
And inside you got like
they're
a
all the little
figurine.
guys.
Yeah.
I just typed in Star Wars Polly Pocket, Yoda head, and 6 mini heads. And then there's little mini guys inside of each of the little mini
Yes,
heads.
those things.
This is cool. And they got Jabba ones.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
This is dope.
So yeah,
Yes.
Louise totally was like, "Oh, I like that." But so that toy made a connection with me, but the other toy that made a connection with me was in the scene right before this, was that fairy thing.
Oh,
the fairy thing that we like pulled the bottom and then it like flew.
Right.
Oh my god, I got
had
so
one of
excited
those.
when I
Those
saw
were
that
so
And
thing.
you can do that for like 15 times, and then it breaks.
And then it breaks.
you can never use it again.
Well, those first 15 times were so
Awesome. Every
Okay,
time.
definitely I remember that toy, and I kept hoping that there was going to be a mermaid Barbie because those things were
I thought of the
my
mermaid
jam.
Barbie at the same time because
Yeah,
her hair would
because
change
hair
I
was
had
color.
the
color in the
fairies
water.
and I had the mermaid Barbie that you would play in the bathtub,
Yep.
and the hair would
Right.
change color.
For sure.
Those were my jam.
So that's what I was thinking about in this scene, but then
Oh my gosh, the GI
the
Joes.
combat
like that.
Carl pops up.
Combat Carl.
And Luis and I thought we were going to pee our pants. Like, we were laughing so
What
hard.
did he say?
Luis, explain why it was so funny. Please. Please share our
that
hilarity.
Poor, the combat Carl in the back.
So there was three
There was
combat
three
Carls chilling.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so to that okay, so Polly Pocket pops out. It was a skunk, McGruff, Scruff, and Billy Goat were the ones driving the car. I thought that was hilarious.
I
The
don't
goats were
remember-
driving.
Dude.
You know, I don't remember that the goats were like one whole thing. I always thought they were separate.
No, they are
They are.
individual. They're just huddled up together.
Yeah, you're right. But I always thought like it was like three figures.
Oh, not like a one
Right.
figurine
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
all
It
three different
is
ones?
3 figures though.
I don't think so. I think it's
No.
one like piece of ceramic.
Right.
Oh, okay, yes, but it's like
But-
goats just standing next.
Right,
to each
yeah,
other.
it's
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
Yes, that's what they.
I
were
just didn't
supposed
remember
to
that it was like.
be.
Okay, I
Can
thought
you
those
please
things
tell
were
us-
GI Joes. It was a combat Carl.
Yeah, they're
Combat
combat
Carls.
Carls. I'm not sure they were a real toy.
I don't think so.
Probably.
I think they're called Combat Carls because
You
they
couldn't
were.
use GI Joe.
Yeah.
Well, that and they were all played by
Oh.
Carl Weathers.
Probably.
Oh.
Can you please explain why Combat Carl was so
Yeah,
funny?
that thing was
Funny.
so funny because like there's 3 of them and then there's one in the background and like you could just tell he's like that one guy who's just always just there or that one friend who's there hovering, hardly never says anything, but always just like wants to get a high five, so he has his hand up when they're like saying, oh, there's a piñata, there's at least 30 kids, yeah, and then they each give each other a high five and he has his hand up, he's like bouncing around, all
Nobody
figurine,
high-fived
like nobody high five.
Nobody
Oh. high-fived.
And then I don't know what Woody is like. You know, you gotta come and help me with my kid. And then they're like, "Oh, you got a kid? High five!" And then they all get a five, and poor Combat Carl's like waiting for a high five, and nobody gives
Oh my
him
god,
one.
I don't think I
And
noticed
Woody
that.
did not give him a high five either, and Combat Carl's just sitting in the background like,
It is so funny because
Oh,
the way that they
that was
jump
sad.
is like their legs go up every time he's
Very
going
big-
up for a high five.
Very
Like those
fig-
Lego movies.
figurine.
Yes.
Yes.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes, just like
That's why
the
we
Lego
love
figures.
that movie, dude. I
Thank
love
you,
it.
Liz.
it was too funny.
Anyways,
We'll have to rewatch that just so you can watch the Combat Carl in the back.
I
'cause
want
it's
to
that
watch
funny.
that scene right now
Yes.
too
It's
because I don't
hilarious.
think I like noticed it. So yes, Bo Peep is pretty clever. She has a skunk cart. She has ditched the skirt. Well, not completely. She took the skirt off and turned it into a cape. Come
Right.
on, girl.
Reversed
You
it.
get it. You're
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah. Well, and like her hair bow is like a different, like she like got rid of the bonnet and it's like
Yeah.
a new like kid's hair bow.
Yeah.
And everything has cute
Yeah.
buttons on it and
Yeah,
stuff.
because she's like an adventurer now. You know what I
Right.
mean? She basically tells Woody like, I was in that antique store for a long, long time, and I didn't want to live my life like that anymore. So this whole world is my playground, basically. So you go, girl. You get it.
That's how you do it, though. Like, honestly, there comes a point, like, in your life where if you're not happy with it, you got to make a change. And she was like, I ain't waiting around for,
Right.
well, no,
for no Woody.
exactly. It was almost like I wasn't waiting around for a man, but she's not going to wait around for a kid, a man.
She didn't want to
someone.
anymore. She
She's
moved
gonna
on.
Do
Right.
it for herself.
Yeah.
Work it.
And I love that she still has her goats with her. I don't know why it cracks me up. But she's like, you need some repairs? And she's like looking him over, and he's like, repairs? Like, fine.
Right. She does like
Yeah.
field stitching like a medic in the army.
I
Yes.
did.
She's
Kind
all
of
patched
is,
up. Doesn't
dude.
she have a patch on her arm?
Well,
Which-
yeah, because
okay, so yes.
because later on it freaks Woody out.
I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
it was like a sticker or something because the goats have this
Right.
freaking Lisa Frank looking stickers. Do you
all
remember Lisa
over them.
Frank?
Yeah.
Makes me
Yes.
want to throw up.
Oh my
Lit.
god, it was so
Rainbows and
funny.
unicorns galore.
It's hilarious. So she has. So that's what I thought it was like a sticker of some sort.
Mhm.
But we find out that her arm got broken, and because she's porcelain, it literally like breaks off. And then she's like, tape. Just tapes it right back. I'm like, dang girl.
Okay.
It freaks
Bo.
Woody out so bad. It's hilarious.
It's good stuff.
So basically, Woody tells Bo about the antique store, and she's like, "What? That place? is owned by an evil doll that
Been
something,
there.
something. I don't know. She says something creepy. So
you had to
basically,
get out of that Gabby Gabby store.
Woody is like, "Can you help me get Forky?" And she really does not want to,
Nah.
but she does.
She's like, I'm out here. I'm living in the wild.
And I think the only reason she does is because she likes Woody, and I love that. Giggle McDimples
Yep.
is like, "You didn't tell me you had a girl. You didn't tell me who's that Woody." Like she just like, wants to know. Like she's so
she's trying to get the
hyper.
gossip.
She's in the midst.
She
like
wants the
she wants to
gossip.
know.
She
what's
wants the
up.
cheese may. What's the tea? The tea.
The cheese man?
Cheese may means gossip in Spanish.
The cheese man, Lou?
Mm,
Oh, look at Luisa.
confirmed.
Yes, it is. The cheese man.
Cheese may. Anyway, so they
Oh, we just learned a new word. I like it.
They basically construct this plan to do this, but in the meantime, the RV that has all the other toys, Dad repaired the
Flat
wheel.
tire. Took him a long time.
He was going to use his words though.
Right. Daddy has to use his
Daddy has
words.
to use his
That was fantastic. I'm
funny.
gonna start using that. Adeline, we need to leave. Daddy's about. Actually, it's gonna be Luis. You know it is. Luis. Addie, mommy's about to use her words, and so we're gonna have to go to
Right.
this circus that's a little funky
So
Yeah.
or
funny.
carnival or whatever.
Yes. So Buzz Light. Okay, talk about the inner voice thing because you think it's so funny.
Oh my god.
Do you not think it's funny?
It's
I do.
so
but he
funny.
Really thinks it's
What is the inciting incident where
Woody's saying he's listening to his inner voice about helping Forky.
and how it's like the right thing to do.
they're having a conversation about like your conscience and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And
Buzz overgeneralizes it
yeah,
in the wrong
Woody
way.
says, "Yeah, I just listened to my inner voice," and Buzz goes, "Inner voice," and then he I think, does he press a button immediately?
Mm-hmm.
He presses a button on his
No,
chest.
he looks at the back of Woody and he looks at his pull string and he's like, "Oh, your inner voice."
Oh, right.
And he's like, "No, like my conscience, like the thing that tells me like what to do."
Right.
And Buzz, which was a weird moment
Buzz
for me
doesn't get
watching
it.
this. I was like, "Wow, Woody is much more." But I think
He's
it might be is
older.
because he's older.
He's older, yeah.
But like he realizes that he is a toy in a universe and
Right.
not like just. He's more than a
Buzz-
toy, but
yeah.
also in the toy
Buzz-
universe.
Yeah.
Buzz doesn't quite get it.
But it was funny because then Buzz is like, "Oh, so when I click the button on my chest and it says like from my manufacturer, that's
Mhm.
my
That's my inner
my
voice."
inner voice."
So
Oh, good lord!
Buzz basically
from
clicks
there-
it and it tells him to go, right? So he just hops out the thing. He's like, "I'm gonna go get Woody."
Right. They're trying to. Are they still trying to stall Dad?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and the unicorn says that.
yes,
he
let's
wants him
get
to
Dad
go to jail.
arrested.
Luis and I died on
Let's
that
send
one.
Dad to jail.
Dad arrested.
Which
Like,
is
oh,
very
good
funny.
lord!
Yeah. So Buzz, he decides, oh yeah, well, I have to listen to my inner voice. He presses a button, and it probably says like,
It's like you better. Oh, it says something about going on the mission.
right.
Mission
and-
on uncharted space.
Yes.
Go,
and
go, go.
He's like, okay. And then so he just dives out the window, and there's an awesome action scene where he traverses all the way through the carnival. He's like hitting his wings. He's doing everything.
my God.
He's flying through
in
stuff.
true Buzz Lightyear fashion,
It's awesome.
He like
So cool.
somehow makes it across everything and is like flying and doing this and that until he doesn't.
Yeah, and then
Until he doesn't, and he gets stuck. He lands in front of a porta potty,
Mhm.
and this
Ew.
guy picks him up, and he's like, "Cool," or he says like "rad." Or something
he
weird.
works at the carnival. He's a carny. The carny he takes Buzz and straps him up in like one of the games where Buzz would be a prize, and Buzz gets to meet two characters who I thought weren't gonna be funny from like the trailers and stuff like that.
They're still not my favorite.
Even though I know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
But Ducky and Bunny are played by Key and Peele of Key and Peele fame, and they're ridiculous.
I expected them to the opposite. I expected them to be funnier.
Oh, interesting.
Me too.
I honestly could have done without
them?
that.
Mm.
I mean,
I didn't need him either.
I didn't particularly need them. I didn't think it was that good of an addition because the other additional characters that we met, like McGiggle Pants or whatever, and like
yeah.
Giggle McDouble.
and the other ones that we meet later on, I thought were better. These two were like, I don't know.
Okay.
I like them. I think they're funny, but I don't have like a super connection with them. Like I'm not gonna buy their plushie.
No,
Right,
definitely
yeah.
not.
I mean, at first in this scene where Buzz is talking to them and trying to get out of there and get away from them, they're mostly annoying. But by the time Plush Rush happens,
Oh my
I
gosh.
am
Oh, that was funny.
dying.
That was
Hilarious.
very
oh
funny.
my goodness gracious!
That is another funny montage.
So
Yes.
funny.
You know, I didn't realize
why,
until the
Emily?
second time
Oh,
around that
go
they're
ahead.
connected.
Yes,
Yeah, they're
connected
by, like, a string.
They're one twin,
Plastic.
basically, but
So,
Connected.
I think
And that
the,
one of them has the plastic thing the entire time stuck on his head.
oh, on
Yeah,
his head,
Bunny
Like
does.
the little-
the
hook.
blue one.
The hook, yes.
Yeah, Bunny.
I'm like,
So
oh,
I
good
think the
Lord.
reason I thought they were going to be funnier is because they really pushed them in the trailers.
Yes.
And I think they pushed them a little too much. I bet I would have thought they were awesome if I didn't know they were in the movie, and then I just like saw them.
Oh, and then they just showed up.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So
because
I think
they had that whole, like, I don't want to call it a fake scene, but that whole, like, trailer that was
Yes.
almost like a real scene
Mm-hmm.
where it was like, Buzz Lightyear and your mom, or
Right,
whatever
yeah.
he says. Like, that was pretty funny.
they basically
Yeah,
did a
so
Key
I
and
think-
Peele sketch.
I think
Yes.
they
For
just
a
like
trailer.
they pushed them too much in the trailer.
Yeah, yeah, and
But-
because of that, because they were using specifically like a Key and Peele sketch in that trailer, I was like, all right, so they're gonna write a whole bunch of contrived lines for these two dudes, and they'll perform them well, and then that'll be it. But so when they actually started being in the movie, I was liking them a lot more than what I had expected.
I like when they're like, "We're gonna get a kid, the kid." Luis, do you like Ducky and Bunny?
Not really.
Mm-hmm.
No, they weren't my cup of
Yeah.
tea.
No.
I can see that.
Okay.
All right. So, anyways, it's okay because Buzz Lightyear escapes from there, and he runs into Bo and Woody on the roof of the antique store.
Yes.
And Bo is so excited to see Woody. It's so cute. It's like friends reunited, and it feels so good. And then Ducky and Bunny are beating up Buzz, but they calm him down because Woody's like, "You come with us, you work with us, you'll get a kid." And they're like, "Sweet, we're gonna get a kid."
Yeah, they do, man. They're whiny. That's funny, though.
So they have this. Well, Bo Peep has a plan about how to get Forky. So Gabby is in a lock cabinet, like a
Yes.
glass lock cabinet that's in the,
like
middle
of the store.
of
In
the
a china
store.
cabinet.
All four Bensons guard it, plus a cat.
They just patrol with their ever swiveling heads. Ah.
Good Lord.
And there's a cat.
And
yes.
there's a cat that will rip toys apart.
Oh.
So, of course, Bo Peep is like, we need to go from the top, right?
Yeah.
But because Buzz sees Bonnie goes into the store, right? Because they're just, remember, stalling for time. Dad's changing the tire, so they're doing this thing. He gets, like, overzealous and just goes. And, of course, it fails completely.
Right.
And Bo is so mad at him, and she has a right to be. He's dumb.
I mean, yeah. She's like, you aren't following the plan. I know what I'm doing. Listen.
And then
to
her
me."
Billy Goat Gruff gets taken away. They attach themselves onto Benson's
bite
booty.
him.
Oh, that's
But-
right. They bite Benson,
His booty.
and then just remain there.
And don't let go.
for almost the whole movie. Yeah. So this is when Bo Peep takes them to go meet.
There's a little bar.
Yes, a new character. So there's
Oh my
there's
god!
a
I love
hideout spot in the
it.
antique
Luis is
store
laughing.
that's basically a club for all of the antique toys, and they go
Yep.
in there and they party hard. They're going in through the club. Bo is famous, and they're like, "Oh, hey, Bo! Bo's here!"
Yeah, because she's great.
Yeah.
And then Bo introduces us to another one of the best new characters in this movie, Duke Kaboom.
Duke Kaboom.
Duke
Which is funny
Kaboom.
because the first time I watched it, I didn't think he was funny. And the second time I watched it, I
Yeah.
thought it was hilarious.
You didn't think he was funny the
So
first
funny.
time?
No.
Oh, I
The
think
fact
he's
that he's
so
posing all the time.
and the fact that he's what's his face.
It's
Keanu Reeves.
Freaking Keanu Reeves, dude. It makes it even better.
It does,
Keanu
for
can
sure.
do
So
it.
Duke Kaboom is the Canuck that could, or Canuck with all the luck, or I don't know, whatever.
Who's the Canuck with all the luck?
He's a Canadian
Kaboom!
evil Knievel toy.
The best part is when Woody's like, something, didn't you have a toy? And Bo's like, no. And he's like, Rajon.
And then they go into the story of
I had a
Rajon.
kid, Rajon.
Yeah, so after Duke Kaboom is introduced, we get his origin story, which involves his Canadian kid, Rajon, who saw the commercial for Duke Kaboom, where he goes off a ramp and just like sails forever and perfectly lands onto the other ramp that the toy comes with. And then when Rajon opens Duke Kaboom, he starts him up, and sets him off, and then he just flops miserably.
Does not go anywhere.
Doesn't do it. And Rajan never plays with him again. He puts him away. And Duke Kaboom goes, "Why, Rajan? Why?"
So
funny.
Also, toys that were supposed to like. I completely feel for Rajan because I definitely had gotten toys like that before, like the Hot Wheels ones that go upside down, and you like do them and it doesn't work, and you're like, I'm not playing with this.
Like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it definitely that happens to people.
I took 45 minutes to construct this whole plastic monstrosity, and now I let the car loose, and it's just gonna fall off. That's what you're telling me, huh? Boo!
Boo!
Yes. So Bo Peep and Woody enlists Duke Kaboom to help them rescue Forky from the China cabinet fortress.
And really, his job is to crash.
His job is to crash.
She 100% sells that to him.
That's how she convinces him. Like,
you're doing this, dude, because nobody can crash better than you.
You're not gonna land, buddy.
All right. You right?
Yeah. So the plan is to vault Duke Kaboom into the cabinet, which will allow Woody to get up there. Oh, also they need the key to the China shop cabinet, which is
an important piece.
Which they have to get from the old lady owner. And this is where Plush Rush comes in, because Ducky and Bunny are offering their ideas on how to get the key. They're like, "Oh, okay, we got an idea."
And how many scenarios? 3 different
I think
scenarios,
there's 3
right?
different scenarios. There's one. I don't know if Plush Rush is the first one or if it's a different one. But they go.
It's the one. Well, I don't know if they call them all Plush Rush, but they're all different. So the first one is just like her walking by, and they just look really cute, and she's like, "Oh," and then they attack her.
They attack her face.
And then the second one, they don't call it Plush Rush, but they like the baseball. Like there goes the
Right,
baseball,
yeah, they
and
drop
she
a
picks it
baseball.
up, and then they attack her. And the Plush Rush, that's the one that's
No,
long.
that's Winner Winner Chicken Dinner.
Oh, Winner Chicken
Winner
Dinner.
Winner Chicken Dinner is the final one.
No, Winner Chicken Dinner is the baseball.
That's the baseball.
Is the baseball.
So maybe
Plush Rush, I think, is the last
is
one.
the last one, where
It like takes so much time, and
they're
like, "Wait for
they
it."
wait. There's a whole montage. She closes up the shop. She leaves. She goes home. She draws a bath. She gets wine.
Gets dinner, draws a bath with her wine,
And then
gets
she
in
goes
bed.
to bed, and then Ducky and Bunny are there. They're gigantic, and they attack her. And then
Wait for it.
And Buzz decides that's a pretty bad plan. And then I think what ends up happening is the lady just walks by, drops the key right in front of them, and then they just take it. But it was very funny.
It was very hard.
Yes, very difficult.
It was a very difficult plan.
They set up Duke Kaboom. Bo Peep informs Woody that he is going to be flying with Duke Kaboom on the crashing motorcycle.
Yeah, he didn't know that as when they were getting him.
When they were in the planning stages. So they fly off. They release Duke Kaboom from his ramp. He's going, and then he's like, "Wait, I can't do this. I see Rajan." Rajan flashes up in front of him. And
does he not look like Louis Linguini or Linguini Bellini or
it does look like
Swoonie
he
Bedini?
Yeah. Little French
You're
Linguini.
so right.
Oh,
Frenchy
Linguini's already
Linguini
French.
from Ratatouille.
Canadian Linguini.
Well, French Canadians.
French Canadian, yeah. You know
Well, I
what
guess
mean.
they were just French,
Right.
even though he was American.
Right. Oh, yeah. They make it to the cabinet. They crash land to the cabinet. Woody is able to get in there. Duke Kaboom falls down to the wrath of the cat and chases him away. And then Woody goes in there to rescue Forky, and he has a conversation with Gabby. Is that what happens? How come I can't remember this part?
He goes in, gets Forky, and then Gabby and Benson kind of like rush them on either side.
Right.
And then they're like, "All right, well, we going." So they try to like rappel back out, but Woody gets caught by the voice box string or the pull string, and so he's getting pulled while they're pulling him the other direction.
They're almost ripping out the voice box, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's getting ripped out of his back because it's sewn in, and Duke Kaboom falls to the floor. And I thought that was going to be the end of him, and so does Billy Goat Gruff.
Oh, right.
And breaks a little porcelain foot
no.
off. It was very sad.
Lost the foot.
And then they have to do. Is that where they do the whole kind of escape out the door, or am I taking it too far ahead?
I think Gabby confronts Woody at some point here, because she doesn't she describe how much she needs the voice box? Hang on.
No, she explained. Okay, so there's a couple different things. There was a couple back and forth scenes between Forky and Gabby where she's explaining who Harmony is, who the grandmother's, granddaughter is, and why she's so important to her. And Forky kind of gives Gabby the inside scoop. Like he doesn't know that he's giving her what she needs to kind of persuade him, but we hear her getting her ammo to talk to Woody later.
Right.
And when she actually confronts him about the voice box, it's after everyone's kind of already left and they've escaped the second time, and nobody's willing to go back in with him to go rescue Forky a second time because they literally
dude, this is
only made it out on a prayer.
Yeah.
They were living on a prayer.
Barely.
Yeah. So
Benson's all chasing them and stuff.
all the Bensons.
All
All the single Bensons.
all the single Bensons.
All the single Bensons. You know what I'm saying? So it was intense.
Yes. So after Woody goes back in the second time to get Forky, he gets him, and then Gabby takes his voice box, right? That's what happens.
He pretty much willingly gives it as long as he gives him Forky.
Right. Yeah.
And
she's like, okay.
And she actually, even though it was very creepy because like she's walking in on him and like the Bensons are coming, she was very honest, I think. She said, I was defective. I've never had a kid play with me. All I want is my one chance, and I really want to know what it feels like. Is it as good as it seems? And he's like, yes, you can have it. Just let Forky go.
Right. She says, I'd give anything to be loved the way you have. And she's just like really sad.
It's actually like really sad.
Yeah. It goes from creepy to sad.
Right.
But then it goes immediately back to creepy for moi because like the Bensons close in around him and you're like, oh my God, he's going to go into emergency
they
like backyard surgery.
Put him under for surgery because he's like asleep. And he like wakes back up once he's like sewed back together. It's like really creepy.
Well, it's like almost like if his fluff was showing, he would be like dead. I don't know. Whatever.
Oh yeah, that was another Ducky Bunny funny line when they see that the cat has torn open a toy and you see its fluff all puffing out and they're like, is that what we look like on the inside?
Like most deaf, brother.
Like, yeah, you do. Yeah, so fluff exposed, I guess, is pretty bad. Bloody.
So yeah, he gets sewn back up, no longer with the voice box, no longer with the pull string, and our brother man can still talk to his toy friends. He just can't talk out loud, which makes him a normal toy.
You're my favorite deputy.
I mean, I don't really know how much Bonnie was like pulling on his pull string anyway. You know?
Right.
Leaving him in the closet. She don't play with him.
Yeah. I don't think it's like a huge
And
deal.
I mean, honestly, Jessie doesn't have a pull string.
No, she does not.
No, she doesn't.
So,
I remember the scene of her like pulling Woody's pull string, but yeah, I don't think she does.
So it's kind of like he's a normal toy now.
Yeah.
I mean, I realize it was part of his identity, but it's not in the grand scheme of things that big of a deal.
No more snakes in your boot, dude.
Yeah. So he takes Forky, bounces. They say goodbye to Gabby, and as they're trying to leave, so that they can finally get back to Bonnie in her backpack, they watch the interaction between Gabby and Harmony, the shop owner's daughter, for the first time.
Gabby's plan has come to fruition. She's like, I'm gonna sit in this box. I got this voice box. I'm super cute. This little girl's gonna love me.
And Forky's like really excited to watch and like see what happens.
Right.
Yeah, he actually stops Woody from getting into the backpack, and I just love Woody every
he's, like,
time
invested.
because Woody's always like, "Get in the backpack. The backpack is right here. Get in the backpack." And you're like, "Oh my God, I feel you, brother. Like, just get in." And does he? No.
No. So Harmony comes up. She picks up Gabby, and then she pulls on the pull string. Gabby goes, "I love you," or whatever she says. And then I think Harmony calls out to the grandma and says...
No, the grandma says something like, "Oh, hey, what did you find?" And she's like, "Oh, just this old doll." And she's like, "Oh, well, you can take it with you if you want." And she was like, nah.
And then drops her back in the box. It's very sad.
It's very heartbreaking because then you're like, wow. Well, it's not like it's the kid's fault per se, but
she
like,
just doesn't want the doll. But
wow, we went through this whole thing, and now Gabby's not going to find no love.
it's been Gabby's entire life pursuits to be loved by this person, and she was like, nah.
Ain't no love.
I don't really feel like having another doll. I got enough dolls. I'm good. Bye.
It was rough, man. It was rough.
So Gabby is devastated, and
She was like, "You can have your voice box back, Woody. I don't need it."
right. I don't need it. I don't need anything. I'm just gonna stay in here
And this is when
nothing.
Woody says a nice thing, and I don't remember what he says exactly, but he's being very nice to Gabby, and he's like, he says what Bo said, like, do you want to spend your whole life in here, or like you want to go out there and see what's out there?
right.
And then Bo comes in, and she's like, yeah, that's my man's. That's basically what she
Right.
says.
And then like
That's my Mr. Cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
Woody, Bo, and Gabby all kind of get to like commiserate together about their futures and their past.
And
or whatever.
Forky and Mr. Canada.
Well, yes,
they all escaped,
they're
right?
there as well. But
They're all there.
But I'm saying them three in particular are all old toys who've been through a lot to get to where they are now, where they can finally start to feel like some kind of freedom from being a toy,
People.
I guess. Yeah. So yes, they escape. Duke Kaboom lands. He does a fantastic jump through a
Rachel.
through a
This is for you,
some kind
Rachel.
of carnival decoration or something like that. They make it back to the RV, or to near the RV, because meanwhile, while they've been rescuing Forky,
Another absolutely gut
Oh my goodness.
busting scene
It's
with
so
the frickin'
funny.
parents.
so all the
And
other toys in the
RV.
RV
gosh.
and
are
they're breaking.
the other toys decided to drive the RV because they were gonna leave. They were gonna take Bonnie away. So they
It's Trixie,
they
right?
impersonate the GPS. Yes,
And he's
they-
like, what's wrong with the GPS?
and they are pressing on the brake, and then they're
Turn
the
right.
RV is driving through the town, and a cop sees them and lights up, and then the unicorn goes, "Dad's totally gonna get arrested."
Yeah, because that was
Which-
their plan B, right? When the Trixie thing stopped working, the GPS, they were like, plan B, and then he just goes in there and blasts the,
the brakes.
no, the
The
gas. I
and
was
the
like,
brake.
Jesus, oh my God.
Well, and it's funny too because I never realized it until this specific scene, and I could be wrong. I didn't look it up, but I am like 90% sure just by voice recognition that Trixie, the same person that voices Trixie, is the same person who voices Mabel on Gravity
Yes,
Falls.
It's Kristen Shaw. She does a lot of voices.
Oh
she's
my
a stand-up
gosh.
comedian. She's hilarious.
So funny, and Luis and I have watched the entirety of Gravity Falls and have started rewatching it with Addie, and it's not any less funny, if not more funny the second time. Mabel's character is one of our favorites.
Yeah.
So when Trixie was like, recalculating, right, we were dying. We were laughing so hard. But the way that the van is jerking through town and into the carnival
Oh my
and
goodness.
like literally all the way up to the carousel, just like he told him you need to get to the carousel, I thought I was going to lose my mind.
So
it was
funny.
so funny. It was very
Hilarious.
funny.
The cop pulls out Dad.
And it was most definitely like a
Also,
sheriff,
Bonnie's
which is
Right.
really funny. Like,
Bonnie's
he looked-
asleep the whole time, and that would totally be me.
Yeah, oh, yeah, for
Of
sure.
Of course, yeah.
She wakes up like, what happened?
So old toys and new toys reunite on the awning of the RV.
It's so cute.
They're
And
all
Forky's supposed to be like locking Dad out of the RV.
right. Yes.
Right, so that's why
Oh,
he's
and
not
he's
in the scene.
He's pressing the button. That was funny. Yeah. So they're all up there. And then they bring Forky back onto the RV. He's safe or whatever. And I'm trying to remember the exact order of things now.
Basically, Woody starts.
Getting ready to go back onto the RV, right?
Yeah, so they all don't come out. So Woody, it's just Buzz up there, and Woody's like saying bye to Bo, and they're like having like a okay bye.
Like a long goodbye.
It's almost like they're
Okay, bye.
recounting the moment
Yeah.
that they had
And
in the
so
box.
Woody turns around and then starts walking back to Buzz, and Buzz kind of like pats him, and that's when all the other toys come out, and they're like,
Yeah.
Bo.
Buzz
Bo.
goes, "She'll be okay." And he's like, "No, Bonnie, she'll be okay. You can,
Yeah, you
you
can
can
go.
You can go skedaddle.
Go accept that Bo Peep in the box offer that was at the
Okay,
beginning
and
of the movie."
this whole scene right here, I'm trying not to talk about it too much, but this is the one that got me where I was crying
Mhm.
because I felt like Woody and Buzz are like best friends for life, and they were like breaking up, Like, I wasn't even crying because I was happy for Wooding. I was crying because Buzz was losing his best friend.
So long,
like,
cowboy.
No. Oh my God. And when he's like, she'll be okay. No, Bonnie will be okay. Like, go get it. I was like, you a real one, Buzz. Mic drop. I love Buzz. That's why.
Yes. So then all the other toys come up. You're right, and Woody gets to say goodbye to all his best buds. Bullseye
and Jesse.
gives him the licks. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Mm,
They all say
the licks.
bye Woody.
Stop.
Bye,
And then Woody jumps back over, and the toys leave, and Woody stays with Bo, and
Yeah, they look real happy. They go about to have some fun in this adventure.
the carnival, some carnival fun.
Okay, my eyes got real big. I was a little worried about where that was going. They're about to have some getting their kicks
But they're
on
so
Route
happy
66,
to go like
y'all.
back up on top of the thing, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, it actually is really cool because they're on the top of the carousel, like in the beams,
Right.
and they get to see the top of everything. They get to see all the lights and all the excitement, and they plan to move with the carnival every time it goes to a new
Which
city,
is a
Right,
good
yeah.
idea.
which is really
Which is a
cool because
pretty
then they
good
get to
idea.
adventure without
Mhm.
having to walk 5 miles to the next rest
Right.
stop.
Yeah. That's pretty dope.
When the credit scenes are so funny because they're like giving away all of the toys, basically, right? Is that what they're doing?
Wait, what do you mean?
Yeah, pretty much. So the movie ends and they go into the credit scenes, and at the next stop of the circus, kids are coming up to play the game, but they're never like winning the
Winning.
game,
Oh,
and
right.
that's why none of the toys ever get a new home.
Yes.
So it's hilarious because the moment that the kid will like hit even anything, like take a shot,
Mhm.
like a
They'll
toy
knock it
pops
over.
over, and it's because they're freeing all the toys so that they can all have homes,
They
and
can
it's
all have homes with
and
all
so-
these kids at the carnival.
at the end of the night or whatever of that
Mhm.
day, the guy who picked up Buzz originally
The carny.
turns around and he realizes there is no more toys. And he's like, "What?" And Bunny and Ducky subsequently re-establish, what is it called? Fluff Rush?
Yes,
Bum
plush rush.
Plush Rush.
And they attack the carny dude.
Oh my gosh, it's so ridiculous, and they get really big, like
they
they're
get
freaking
gigantic.
like
they start
uh,
shooting lasers out of their
not
eyes.
Dracula. Is it Dracula, the really big dinosaur thingy?
You think the really
Did
big
you say
dinosaur
Dracula?
What's it called?
is Dracula?
What's it called? Just tell me.
It's Godzilla.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. Okay.
But you went with Dracula.
Dracula
Nobody
is a
asked
vampire.
You. Turning off my microphone.
It's okay. I was gonna say King Kong, but you beat me to the
King Kong-
ridiculousness.
King Kong would have worked. Better than Dracula. Yeah. So that's the end of the movie.
But hold on, I know this is a long one, but we missed the only scene in this movie that made me almost cry.
Okay.
The Gabby scene with the lost child.
Oh,
Yes. Actually,
it's because
this
you
is-
were picturing
'cause-
it being Addie.
Well, because I'm a parent now.
I cried here. I
Yeah.
cried here too. Honestly.
It was like cute, but I still cried at the Buzz thing.
the fact
Oh
that
no, this wasn't cute. This was like the dangs.
Emotional.
the little girl, she's standing on in the shadows, in the darkness. She's scared and alone. She's lost her parents or whatever at the carnival. They see her. They put out Gabby very strategically. They throw a baseball, just like Winner Winner Chicken Dinner, and then the little girl sees her, picks up Gabby. She says, "Are you alone too? Let's go find help together." And like Gabby gives her the strength to like walk out and find a security officer. And when
It's
she
really
when she finds the
cute.
security officer, is like, "Excuse me, can you help me?" That's when I lost it all.
Yeah.
What's happening?
It's really sad.
Yeah.
It was
sad.
it was like that
Yeah.
was very sad. And but it was also very sweet because Gabby got to find a kid. Like she didn't just go off and become a lost toy. She
Right.
actually got to be she got to fulfill her wish, but then she
Right.
also was like helping the kid too.
Exactly.
She wasn't just helping herself.
Yeah.
So it was full
It was
circle
mutual.
on her character
Yes.
too.
Of all of the Toy Story villains, I think Gabby ended up in the best place. at
Oh,
the
for
end.
sure. And I mean she wasn't even villainous. She just had villainous
Right.
like henchmen.
she was the antagonist. She just happened to
Nah,
be.
she had henchmen.
against-
She was a villain.
That's true. She had henchmen. She had a lair. She had
She had a lair.
watch.
She had
watch-
a moat.
She had a watch cat. She had all that stuff.
Dang.
Okay, so I wanted to discuss this real quick. Did you guys think that it was a fitting end for Woody and for all of the toys? that he went off with Bo Peep instead of staying with Bonnie for another like 12 or 18 years or whatever?
The only reason I say yes, if you had asked me, okay, so like, I'll answer it like this. If you had told me, because remember I said that I didn't think we needed any more originally, and I feel like most people have said that. We don't need any more Toy Story because it was a fitting ending, right? We assume that he just lives out his days. Right. But because of the way this movie transpires and we see that he is not needed,
right.
like Andy did need Woody.
Yeah.
Had Woody gotten in the box with Bo and left, Andy really would have been devastated.
Been
but because of the way this movie transpired and because we know that Bonnie has other favorites, she doesn't need him.
Right.
Like maybe she'll eventually be like, oh, Mr. Cowboy's gone or whatever.
Like I don't think she'll care that much.
No.
She has Jesse still.
Right.
You know,
like she might be heartbroken for a couple days and it's not going to be a huge deal.
So I think that, yes, it's a fitting way for it to end because of what we saw here.
Yeah.
But if you had told me like if I had just found out that Woody like somehow went off with
after Toy Story 3, Woody just up and leaves.
I would have been like, that's not in his character at all to do.
Right.
But I think that it was just a really good wrap up for him because he is the central character to these movies.
Right. Exactly. And I think
it really is Woody's story.
I think that's
this
where
whole movie is.
The whole series is
true.
a Woody story.
It's a Woody story, absolutely. And I think that's just ever so slightly where I have the tiniest bit of conflict with this movie.
That's because you love Buzz.
Well, I do love Buzz, but I love Woody too, and I do think that this is a fitting end for him, and that he's very well enough to live out the rest of his days with Bo Peep or whatever. But in terms of like everybody else, like living on without Woody and stuff like that, like there's definitely
they'll have Buzz.
Right, they have Buzz, but there's more things that can happen to the rest of them. And like I think in terms of its finality, Toy Story 3 had a better ending for all of them.
Oh, for sure.
Whereas this one had a better
honestly,
ending for just Woody, and everybody else was like, all right, yeah, go play with Bonnie.
Okay, literally, was Potato Head even in this movie?
He's in there.
Yes.
Yeah, he's in there. Ham's in there. Rex
They're
is in
all-
there. They're all in there. Slink
But
is
the
in
thing is, to me, like, they're not even in this movie.
there. Right.
Like,
Right.
Buzz is barely in this movie, and that my
Yeah.
only qualm with this movie is that I don't feel like you got that Woody Buzz thing that happens in every
I
single
wrote
movie.
a couple times in my notes
like,
oh,
where's Buzz?
hey, Buzz is here.
Because I
Look at
love
that.
Buzz. And, like, yeah, they tried to give him that inner conscious thing that
Which was
kind of funny. But, like, I felt like him and Woody weren't super connected in this movie, which I kind of had an issue with because I feel like they're homies for life.
Right.
So that's why when I got that last scene, I was like, Buzz.
Yeah.
So as
I
you said,
don't-
this is a standalone. More
Yeah,
than-
and that's what I think that's where it comes down to.
Right.
This movie is not about the other characters anymore. Like the other
it's
ones
Woody and
was
Bubba love
all,
story.
especially two. I mean, no, actually all of them.
Yeah.
They're all about the gang.
Right.
And this is not about the gang
Yeah.
at all.
It's all
this is
about Andy's toys,
Yes.
as opposed to
This
this
is
one,
about
which
Woody.
is about
yeah,
Woody.
this
Moving
one
on.
is Woody, and how Woody interacts with other people. Like if he interacts with Forky, then it's him and Forky at that
Right,
moment, or
yeah.
him and whoever.
Well, and that's another weird thing about this movie is it's like Forky, and then he just kind of fades off the rest of the movie.
In my old man Woody analogy, he and Bo Peep retired in this movie. You know,
Yeah.
they retired from being toys. Everybody
Yeah.
else is still young and fresh and hanging out with Bonnie, and he's like, I'm hanging up my literal hat, and
he is
Stop
Captain
it.
America.
I'm old now.
Okay.
I'm going with my girl, and
He and Peggy are.
Oh!
Wow, I did not mean that. I did not mean that.
it's gonna be extra funny when I bleep it and they think you're saying other stuff.
And not what you actually said. If
The best
anybody
part
wants to
was
know what Emily said,
the best-
DM us.
The best part is that was not even intentional.
No.
The way that it came out.
If you want to know what Emily said, hit us up in a DM.
Slide into our DMs.
Anyways,
It's better if you don't know.
Yeah.
if you guys want more Forky, just so you know, on Disney Plus, there's like a little, I think it's like 8 episodes,
Yeah, they're
maybe.
mini
They're
shorts.
like mini series. The episodes aren't even 5 minutes long, but it's called Forky Ask a Question.
Forky asks the
I
question.
don't know. And
They're-
it's really silly.
They're all really silly and they're animated Toy
I
Story
highly recommend
style.
that
they're,
you-
They're all good. And
I highly recommend that you watch the one called What Is Love. That's my favorite.
What is love is
What
good.
Is Love?
And what is cheese is pretty good. 'Cause they don't talk about cheese that much.
Me and
which
of
I
course so
appreciate.
mad. Yes, but if you like Forky and you want
Andre
more,
hates cheese.
if
just
you
so
like
know.
Forky and you want more Forky, watch them. Adeline seemed to enjoy it.
That's
What?
very true.
No.
That's very true. Yeah, so that's Toy Story 4, and presumably we are now done with.
We're now
With
done
Toy
with
Stories.
Toy Story movies.
Yes.
Hopefully. Unless there's
Well,
a Toy
because
Story 5.
if they literally come out with another one, then I will be like upset.
Right.
Because I
But
won't
you
lie.
didn't really want this one to come out, and you like it.
No, that's what I'm saying. But I feel like there's only so many times where I could be like,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
I think one of the writers, it might have been Leon Crick. She said that like we don't at Pixar we don't just make money or make movies to collect piles of money. You know, we make movies because we have stories to tell. And the only
Except for
reason
Cars 2.
the only reason we're making Toy Story 4 is because we had an idea and we think that it'll fit.
Well,
we
and
think
it
that
is a
it'll
very
work.
good story.
Yes,
So I'm happy they made it.
It is a good story.
I really like it. I kind of already want to watch it again. So
Yeah, it's really good. And like I said, we watched it twice in a week.
still like it.
The first time I liked it a lot. Luis and I looked at each other and said, best Toy Story movie. And then the second time we watched it, I liked it just as much, but there were funnier parts because I was paying more attention to little minute
Well, and that's
details.
kind of how I felt the second time. I was like, oh, I like it.
Yeah.
I liked it more this time, like the second time. But I kind of
Yeah.
feel like that with most movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The
Where-
ancillary characters were much funnier the second time because
Mhm.
now I like knew where their backstory was.
Right.
Like Duke Kaboom second time.
Freaking
Heck,
hilarious.
funny.
I think he is
Um,
so funny.
Yeah, that was good
Yeah.
stuff. Okay,
And Forky.
give us
I
the
love Forky.
Yeah,
Money, Rotten Tomatoes.
Money. So this movie had a budget of $200 million, which is expensive. But
Yeah.
that's okay because it ended up raking in a worldwide gross of $1 billion, $73,394,500.
Okay, so they're fine.
boom,
Yeah.
boom,
Duke
kaboom.
Jeez,
They made
that's a lot of cash.
a buttload of money off this movie. It was
A
very,
buttload.
very, very widely well received. Critics loved it. It has a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
So do they all have 100% except for this one?
No, I think we said the one last time was
No.
98, right?
Yes, I believe they're
Toy Story 1 has 100%.
they're all above 95 for sure. I think they're all above 97 actually. Can I see their actual scores from right here? Yes. So Toy Story 2 has 100, Toy Story has 100, Toy Story 3 has 98, and this one has 97.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. So let's go ahead and rate this movie first, and then I want us to go around and give our rankings.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
So I'm going to
Hold
give
on, rating and rank them.
Yes.
I
Rank
see
the
what
So
you're
Toy
saying.
Stories.
I'm going to give this movie a 9 out of 10.
Mhm.
I really, really like it. Like I said, I wanted more buzz. Is it a great story? Yes. Is it super fun? Yes. Is it so hard to rate all these Toy Story movies because they're literally all good?
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So is it up there? Yes, but they're all up there. It's so hard. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 only because I wanted more of the other OG characters.
Right.
Andre.
I think I'm also going to give it a 9 out of 10. Whereas I believe I rated almost every other single one a 9.5. This one loses that 0.5 purely because it doesn't include all of the characters. Like I was talking through Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3 about Ham and Mr. Potato Head.
So
and Rex.
funny.
They're all just
Yeah.
so hilarious.
I love
and
them.
I think even though this movie is just as near perfect as all of those other ones, just because it's missing those particular characters, it doesn't feel quite as Toy Story to me. But it's by like a tiny margin, you know? It's so
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
And it's not a fault of the movie at all. It's
No.
an internal
Yeah,
Andre.
definitely
This
not.
is Andre's fault.
All right,
9.0.
Luis.
Can't remember what I gave 3.
I think you
Like
get.
a
I think we
9.5?
all gave 3
9.5.
9.5. All of us.
Yeah,
Then-
because we said we swept,
Yeah,
remember?
we
Then-
all gave 3 9.5.
I never thought it'd be possible, but I'd give this one higher than that.
What?
I'm gonna go with out of just those 4 movies, this is a 10.
10.
Ooh,
I like that a
it's his
lot.
favorite out of them.
10.
You could even ask Emily. The whole time I'm laughing from second to second. in
Yeah,
this
we
movie.
laughed a
It
lot in
was-
this movie.
The story was perfect. Like, and you guys have mentioned many times, it's a good standalone movie.
Right.
You don't
It
even need
is.
to know the premise of anything. You could just watch this movie from the beginning, and you're good.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
You know.
So good. Emily.
I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
9.5.
Very good. Everything you guys said.
Yep.
Cheerio.
Cheerio.
Okay.
What do you usually say? Mighty good.
Mighty good.
Jolly good.
Jolly
Jolly
good.
good.
Jolly good. Who thinks they know their ranking? Luis, do you think you know your ranking?
This is number 1 for me.
So yeah, but you gotta
You
rank
gotta
them all.
rank them in 4s.
So 4 is your top. Then what?
3,
3, and then
2,
what?
1.
4, 3, 2, 1.
No,
Interesting.
4, 3, 1, 2.
4,
4, 3, 1, 2.
I'm gonna
Interesting.
agree.
Ooh, 4,
4,
3,
3,
1.
1. Well,
It's so hard, huh?
1 is not the one I want to go back and rewatch.
True.
You can
It's
go.
good,
I know.
but I don't want to if now that I have 4, I'm not gonna go back and rewatch 1. I'm
4,
sorry.
3, 2, 1 for you then.
4, 3. I liked 2 this time better than I did. 4, 3, 1, 2. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, you can't decide between the final ones. So 1 or 2. Which one would you rather watch? 1 or 2?
Only because Sid's toys literally make me want to. Maybe 2, 1.
Okay, so Emily's a 4, 3, 2, 1. Luis is a 4, 3.
Andre's literally holding his temples right now.
Luis is a 4, 3, 1, 2. I guess I'm going to be completely different than you guys. I am a 2.
Yes.
2, 4, 3, 1.
2, 4, 3, and 1 at the bottom.
3's
Okay.
too emotional for me. This is in the order I would watch them. Like if you were
Okay.
like, let's
okay.
if you were like, let's watch a Toy Story movie, I'd be like, cool, let's watch 2. If that one was unavailable, I'd be like, cool, let's watch 4. If that one was
Oh.
unavailable, I'd be like, let's watch 3, and then I'd be like, fine, I guess we can watch Toy Story 1. But if I'm ranking them based on which I think are the best movies, then I think it should go 2, 3, 4, 1. But I just don't like to watch 3 because it's too emotional. So I'll stick to 2, 4, 3, 1.
2, 4, 3, 1. That's a good list.
Well, Andre's having a hard time.
Okay.
If you could watch any Toy Story movie right now, what would it be? Your favorite one? Wow.
Okay.
Are you
okay,
making
okay,
that
okay,
noise?
okay,
Was
yes,
that
that
you?
you?
That was
Good
me.
He's
lord.
having a hard time.
Okay. Let me just walk you through my process of
Oh,
what's happening in my brain right now.
no.
Okay, so 3 is so emotionally impactful that it's fantastic. I want to put it at the top. 2 is the most hilarious.
Yeah.
I want to put it at the top. And
I
then
don't disagree with you. They
But
all
I'm saying
have.
This
if,
is- this
if
is
you
my
were
ranking.
just like, let's watch a Toy Story movie, what would you put on right now?
it's 2.
Thank you. I know it's 2, but okay.
2, 3, 1, 4. That's my order.
Okay.
Really? You'd
Yes.
rather watch 1 than 4?
I would. Yes.
I don't care about 1 at all.
I think
You like bulbous
I
animation?
think,
No, I'm just
well,
kidding.
the
I hate it.
bulbous
I
animation
don't
aside,
hate it.
I think watching Woody and Buzz fight each other in that movie is just pitch perfect. It's fantastic.
See, he bugs me too much in that first one.
You're a
because
toy. Toy.
Oh no, that's funny, but I don't like how he's just like, oh me, in that
Mrs.
movie.
Nesbitt,
Mrs.
come on,
Nesbitt.
man.
Mrs. Nesbitt's pretty
God.
good
Okay,
though.
and if
And then the
as
Sid
you, our
toys.
listeners can tell, this is a really hard decision because let's be real.
They're
Every
all good.
single Toy Story movie is good.
They're
Yeah.
This
fantastic.
isn't like Cars where we're like 2 sucks, 3's okay, and 1 is great, right? Like they're all really quality movies
Right.
with very original, wonderful stories with characters that we
Fantastic
all
characters.
know and love. So Emily, I want
Agreed.
you to post something because I want to know our listeners' rankings.
All right.
And I hope there's some people who agree with me and Andre out there that 2 is the easiest one to put on the TV and watch because it's funny, and the other ones make you feel things.
I don't
really feel anything.
I don't
in one.
disagree with you there.
But that's why
2
I'm like
for just like
funny.
doing
For
things.
just fun Toy
It's
Story
just
goodness.
probably
I'm
the
cleaning the
easiest.
house. I'm watching number 2. You know what I
Probably
mean?
the
Like,
easiest to watch. I don't
But
disagree.
that's
with you
why
there.
it's my favorite because I can just put it on and I'm like, wow, that's a happy, nice Toy Story movie.
You don't want to watch. I'm trash.
I love him.
2 is the funniest one.
Well, that's why
and
I said,
it has the most Star
that's
Wars
why I said
references.
2
That's
4.
true.
That's why I said 2 4.
We also
And
didn't
then
say
3
anything
and
about
1.
what Addie. This is how Addie explains this scene.
Oh.
Forky?
Addie's 2 favorite things from this movie.
Mhm.
We didn't talk about.
Oh.
Bo, 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 bo.
Oh my god.
Okay, that's the
She
first one.
would. Bow, 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 bow. Andre was doing that too. Bow, 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 bow.
Second thing. It's a mommy Forky.
Oh yeah.
That's what she said.
Thought
Well,
it was
wasn't it a
mommy
knife? I
Yeah,
think it was a
but
plastic knife.
it was totally a knife.
Right, yeah.
But she
Huh.
said, "It's a mommy
it's
Forky
a mommy.
and daddy Forky."
Oh
So originally
my
Forky was just Forky to
gosh.
her.
Right.
But then when the other one came on screen, to her it was mommy
Boom.
Forky
Well, and I
and
love
daddy
Daddy
that
Forky.
like Forky's more mature by then. And he's like, "Hi, I'll teach you everything you need to know."
And he's like,
not
She's like,
trash.
Not-
No way. Like, okay, Forky, you're all high and righteous now. He's like, "We're totally-"
so
Hilarious.
good.
I completely forgot about that. That
So
was so
good.
funny.
So thank
That
you,
one
listeners.
creeped me out though. It looked so weird.
Oh yeah, she was nasty.
Yeah.
She was a fork.
Yeah, she was.
And Jesse's like, "Oh, Bonnie made a friend in first grade."
Right, yeah.
No, she literally and, like they
Yeah.
replayed the
It's the
whole
same
scene.
scene.
It's the same scene just with
She
Jesse.
literally made a
a friend. I love it. Okay.
Okay.
Listeners, please tell us your rankings. I
Yes,
need to know.
thank you for joining us on this Toy Story adventure for the past 2 months, I think was.
3
Oh no, 3
3 episodes,
3 episodes. Yes.
6 weeks.
Yes. Toy Story 1 was episode 11. I forgot that we didn't do it in this run. Yeah. It was
So
it's been a while.
while we're on a sequel quick, let's just watch Cars 2 and 3.
No,
Just kidding.
no,
We're not
no,
doing
gonna
that.
do that.
But maybe we
Um,
will another time.
If you want more Pixar, you can go see Onward, which I think at the time of this recording is coming out this Friday or something like that.
Yep,
Yeah.
Friday.
New Pixar movie. That's exciting. We'll be going to see that. We won't be reviewing it quite yet. What
One day.
we will be reviewing though next time
It's something I still don't think I've ever seen.
right. This is the 1986 animated Disney film, The Great Mouse Detective.
Which people have told me it's very good, and Andre's been wanting me to watch for a long time.
I love this movie. I watched it a lot
Is this
as a
the
kid.
somewhere?
No, that's
Rescuers.
That's Five Goes West. Or
Well,
An
there's
American
too many
Tail.
mouse movies.
That's not even a
Okay,
Disney movie. That's a Don Bluth movie.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
There's too many mouse.
The Great
movies.
Mouse Detective, if you don't know, is about basically a Sherlock Holmes mouse.
What?
Okay, it's an
A
anthropomorphic
Sherlock Holmes?
anthropomorphized mouse, and he's Sherlock Holmes. He has got a Watson. They go on a mystery. They solve an adventure. It's awesome.
That sounds really good.
Yes, it's dope.
I didn't know that.
It's
We
fact-
do love Sherlock.
I'm 99% sure that this is my first introduction to Sherlock Holmes in my life. You know,
I didn't
love-
know that.
is your mic on? Oh, I don't hear you. No, that's weird.
Somebody else's.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
yeah, now I can hear you. Wow.
Emily's really
Goodness.
excited because of
Have to
Sherlock.
break that mic.
I love Sherlock. I'm so excited now.
Yes,
Can we
yes.
watch it right now, Lou?
We
It's too
got
late.
time.
It's
Maybe-
Thursday night.
Yeah,
I gotta
late.
watch.
We were-
I gotta watch GI Joes real quick.
yeah, Combat Carls.
Oh, combat! I was like GI Joe's. No.
All right, we've been recording for a while. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you so much for being here. If you'd like to keep up with us online on the interwebs, you can go to @the Walt Pod on any social media site. We're there. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the places. If you want us on a social media website that we're not on, don't bother us about that. But if you want to follow our exploits, follow us, subscribe on whatever podcast platform you're listening to right now. We're on all of them, including YouTube. If you're on YouTube, leave a comment, hit that like button, hit the notification bell, do all the things that you
All
need
the
to do.
tings.
All the tings. If you want to leave us a message, you can go to contact@thewaltvaultpod.com, send me an email or read it on the show. If you want to support us financially, you can go to patreon.com/thewaltvaultpod, and we got extra content for you there. Thank you guys so much for listening. That's been it for this week. We'll see you next time for some Sherlock goodness. The vault is now closed.